Well, another bombshell was dropped for Smash Bros. DLC this week with the introduction of Cloud Strife as a playable character from the Final Fantasy franchise, most likely in light of the upcoming Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't think anyone really saw him coming, so let's break down what he looks to be bringing to the table. Bear in mind, I'm not all that familiar with the Final Fantasy franchise, so I shall be looking at him from a Smash standpoint, and of course everything I'm saying is purely based on speculation. So starting off is his design, which is a mix between classic and modern adaptations of him. It also appears they reduced the length of his sword a little bit, probably for the sake of balance. Right off the bat, we may have already been given a hint to his weight class thanks to his dash, where he hovers above the ground instead of running along it. Most characters who hover along the ground like Rosalina and Mewtwo are lightweights, despite being considered heavier in their own games. So perhaps Cloud was made a lightweight for this game. His jab, like a lot of his moves, function closely to Shulk's. He also carries a fair bit of momentum upon the last hit. You'll notice this happens quite a lot with his attacks and could hint that Cloud can utilize his momentum on the ground to add further range to his attacks. His side tilt seems to come out pretty fast and with decent range, but I do wonder about the ending round, because the time it took for him to get back to neutral seemed pretty long. Up tilt looks much faster in both startup and ending and covers good range. His down tilt is a sliding attack like Mega Man's. This looks like it's going to be a very useful move for Cloud, as he can use it to duck underneath projectiles and set up combos with it. His dash attack looks very fast and appears to have a lot of active frames at the end, since the sword seems to be held out for quite some time. Same can be said for his up air that looks like it will be a great follow-up move with good vertical reach. His forward air looks especially quick and appears to spike at the very tip. Something tells me this is going to be one hell of a spike, especially with the good range and speed to it. His down air is also a spike, and I can imagine it would work just like Shulk's down air. We also get a look at his back air, which seems to be a kill move with some really good range. His neutral air is essentially the reverse of Shulk's neutral air, with great coverage of both his front and behind. I can imagine this is going to be a great anti-air. Up smash appears to only hit on one side, but also seems to have great anti-air properties thanks to his great high coverage and fast startup. Down smash, on the other hand, is the first glimpse we have of him using the hilt of his sword as an attack, so perhaps this will carry over for other moves. We also get a glimpse of his side smash, a 3-hit kill combo that looks like it'll have some serious kill power. We don't get to see his grab, but we do see his back throw, which doesn't seem to have much kill power. And I think this will carry over with the rest of his throws because he already has enough power as it is with his specials. His neutral special is a projectile slash that can be used both on the ground and in the air. This will be a great projectile because it has great vertical reach and range and might even be chargeable, but don't quote me on that. I think his side special will work a lot like Marth's Dancing Blade, where you time your inputs to execute each strike. It can also be performed in the air, and it looks like it'll be great for racking up damage. His up special is a direct upward slash that can be inputted a second time for a downward slash. It seems to have the same general height as Roy's recovery, which from a height standpoint isn't all that much, since it doesn't look like he has any means of horizontal recovery, which could hurt his game significantly. It does seem very good as an attack though. And now we have probably the biggest mystery to the trailer, the limit break mechanic, that seems to drastically increase the power of his attacks. But how does this work? Well, I have a theory. What if this is his down special, where you can hold down the button to charge up, and once fully charged, it drastically increases the power of one special move at a time. As we can see, after he pulls off a powered up side B, he loses the blue glow, thus requiring a recharge. It also seems to change the properties of each special, as his neutral B becomes a multi-hit move, and his up B gains increased height and horizontal distance. Then there's this move, an insane looking tornado attack that can kill 2 players at once on both sides, and probably anyone in the near vicinity. I reckon this is also his down special, only after you have fully charged the limit break. Now you might ask yourself what kind of drug Sakurai must have taken to implement something this overpowered. Well, from the looks of it, it might be very slow to charge up and might require you to stay in one spot to do it. I can also imagine that, like Shulk with his Monado arts, that while he gains increased knockback to his moves, he must also lose something to compensate for it. So perhaps in this state, while he is capable of dealing more knockback, he also takes much more knockback himself whenever hit. And if I guess correctly with him being a lightweight, that would mean that while he would be incredibly powerful in this state, he'd also be incredibly vulnerable. The real question is, does Cloud have to charge it up in one go, or can he store some charge and charge the rest of it later, like Mewtwo's Shadow Ball for example? I guess only time will tell. Not gonna lie, I was a little thrown off by this red glow he appears to have while showing off the new stage. Is this another state that he can take that changes his powers? No, I think this is just stage specific because Toon Link appears to have the same glow. And his final smash is the Omni Slash, which, from my small understanding of the Final Fantasy franchise, came before Ike's Great Aether, so think twice before you say who copied who. Overall, I predict that Cloud is going to be a mix between Shulk and Roy, able to enter a powered up state like Shulk can along with sharing some similar move traits, while having the speed, mobility and power that Roy possesses. his greatest weakness being potentially an easy knockout due to his light weight and severe lack of horizontal recovery without the limit break fully charged. Either way, he looks like he's going to be a really interesting character to play as. But what are your thoughts on Cloud? And did you notice anything that I may have missed? Please sound off in the comments below. But until then, please give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.